How is it going, ladies, gentlemen, and others? I am Sturdy New Hat, and Doom Eternal comes out in less than a week, and I thought to celebrate I would go back and play the game that started it all, Doom, from 1993. We are starting in episode 1, knee deep in the dead, oh boy, and of course we're playing in Ultraviolence, the right way to play Doom. Nah, I'm kidding, play Unheart Me plenty if you like, but I prefer Ultraviolence. Man, that soundtrack. We have Bobby Prince to thank for this incredible soundtrack. Boy, I have been looking forward to playing through the original Doom since I finished my Silent Hill playthrough. Here's why. Silent Hill 2 is really story-driven, which means I have to spend a lot of time being quiet and, not talking about the game. Which I tend to want to do because if it's a game I enjoy playing, I tend to have a lot of things to say about it. Doom, the other hand, not really that story-driven, mostly gameplay-driven, as you might have noticed. Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? Do you know what's going on? Well, there is a story, it's just not really told to you all that much. There's a couple of end screens when you finish an episode, but aside from that, you're not told much. If you read the game manual, that's right, game manual, there aren't really game manuals anymore, but back in the day, there were game manuals, and if you read the game manual, you get to learn that, well, you're a space marine, an unnamed marine. Let's call you Doom Guy. And, you kinda disobeyed an order from your superior. He ordered you to fire on innocent civilians, and you said no, and then you punched him in the face, and you're being punished. To my mind, that's the kind of thing that, any sort of space agency would let go. Is this what Trump has got planned for the Space Force? I don't know. Anyway, you're being punished, so you're sent to the moon base on the Phobos moon of Mars, and while you're there, you deal with the UAC guys. They've been experimenting on portals and interdimensional travel, and they accidentally open a portal to hell. The other moon, Deimos, has just vanished from space completely. This base gets flooded with demons, and all of the other Marines that were here with you, they all get either killed or turned. And, yeah, that's it. You have a gun and not much else. That's the only story you need to go on. The foundation of this game's programming is, well, he's a character, we'll talk about him later, but we have finished the first level. Good times, we killed everything, we got all the secrets. I don't know where all the secrets in the game are, but I know where pretty much all of the important ones are in the first couple of levels. We'll get to that. The secrets aren't, well, I don't want to say they're essential for completing the game in higher difficulties, but they're really, really helpful. There's a couple of really good secrets in this level. One of them gets you a chain gun, which, again, I don't want to say it's essential, but I don't know what I'd do without it. But yeah, so this game, the foundation of this game's programming was a member of the Q Continuum that lives inside the human vessel that we know as John the Tarmac Carmack. His famous quote is that story in a video game, it's like story in a porn movie. It's expected to be there, but it's not that important. I don't really agree with that, but it's a cool design philosophy. Here's why. It meant that when they were coding all this shit, they had to make a game that was fun to play. They couldn't get by on the story, and you know what? They did. The original Doom and Doom 2 are some of the few games that I can play at any point and just enjoy and have a good time. Anyway, you saw me go in a secret and push a button. I also picked up a backpack, I'll talk about them. The button opens this door, which leads outside to a barrage of shotgunners. These shotgunners are a nightmare, and they're used quite a lot in the early episodes of Doom. You come across 3 or 4 shotgunners, and they can really do you a ton of damage. The shotgun or shotgun blast does between 3 and 45 damage, so if you come across, say, 3 or 4 of them, they can kill you in one hit. We also picked up a Megasphere there. That gives you 100 health on top of the health you already have, up to a maximum of 200. And you also saw that we picked up the chain gun. It's great fun. Some ammo from the chain gun up here, and now we get to let it rip. Yeah, the chain gun is great. It's so good. It uses the same ammo as your pistol, and being honest, you're not going to be using your pistol much, so yeah, use the chain gun. That button opens up this maze. This maze is not essential, you don't have to go here, I don't think, but it leads to a pretty cool secret that gets you another weapon, but it's also a pretty good exercise in making dark areas. You see, this game, it likes to throw you into some dark areas. This episode especially, it doesn't happen as much in the later episodes, but, well, it does happen a lot in Sigil. But it happens here quite a lot, and it can be really annoying. There's an ending to one of the levels in this episode that is just a nightmare. But yeah, this is Maze, and it teaches you that you need to be careful. Look around every corner, because if you don't, you're going to get blindsided. This is one of the criticisms often levied at old school shooters, that you just need to know where all the enemies are, but it's not about that. It's about paying attention and, being scared all of the time and looking around every corner. There's another secret here. This gets you a backpack full of ammo. This does two things. It gives you one pickup of ammo for every ammo type, which is cool because it means that you can get cell ammo in the first episode even though you don't get any weapons that use cell ammo. Anyway, the other thing it does is it doubles the amount of ammunition you can carry. So it used to be that the most I could carry for the shotgun was 50, but now that I've picked up, well, 2 backpacks, I can carry 100. That's incredibly useful. Especially for weapons that go through ammo like the chain gun or the plasma gun, being able to carry more ammo than usual, that's good times. And here we see the mighty chainsaw. This is really useful for dealing with a demon that's going to be introduced next episode. Oh yeah. For now we're going to put it away. We can also punch things, but it's not really advised until the second episode and the introduction of the Berserk pack, but yeah. So, John Carmack, I spoke about him, he programmed this game's engine, the Doom engine. I think it's also called id Tech 1. I know this game looks 3D, but it's not. This game is 2D. Yeah, he did this, he sort of revolutionised first-person shooters. This is, if you've ever played a game of Call of Duty or Halo, you've got this game to thank for it. Oh man. You probably want to go down this lift, this elevator, except you don't. You want to turn to the left here and open up this secret, pull out your chain gun, and then rinse everything in this room. Trust me, it's going to be a way better time than if you go down the elevator. But yeah, he programmed this engine, and I know that this looks like a 3D game, but it's not. This game is a 2D shooter. Yeah, he invented, well not invented, but he made real this thing called binary space partitioning, which allowed things to render sort of like a 3D game. Oh yeah, this final room. Fun times. And there's another imp down there. There's another imp down there. I know he's down there. There we go. And that is the end of Map 2, Nuclear Plant. It's a fun one, I like it. I always miss out a couple of enemies in the maze, but I don't really care. Going on to Episode 3. Episode 3 includes, well, introduces 1 or 2 new demons, depending on how you look at it. The Pinky Demon and the Spectre. The Spectre is just a sort of semi-invisible Pinky Demon, but the Pinky Demons are fun. See, all the things we've encountered up until now have been hit scanners and the projectile enemy, and they all go down in about 1 shotgun blast. The Pinky Demon and the semi-invisible Spectre are the tanks. They come forward, they only have melee attacks, 3 shotgun blasts, 2 if you're a child of RN Jesus. But also, they're kind of bullet spongy. You come across 2 or 3 of them at once and you're going to be using a lot of shotgun ammo. This shotgun is great, it's your workhorse, but when you open this door, have the chain gun out and, yeah, take everything apart. The chain gun is far too useful to miss. Always grab that secret. But yeah, the shotgun is your workhorse. It's one of the best video game shotguns, and in Doom 2 it is immediately outshined in the second level by the super shotgun. But yeah, this is it. It's great. It will take out most of your basic enemies in a single hit, but the Pinky Demons will take 3 or 2 if you're lucky. Push this button. You can go up here. There's armor here if you need it, but we have way more armor. There's this guy. And there's also a shotgun here. Grab that if you didn't get a shotgun in any of the previous levels. I don't know how you would have avoided it. Yeah, wall of shotgunners here. Take them out with the chain gun. We're also going to enter into this place, which has a couple of Pinky Demons, a couple of shotgunners, but more importantly it has 2 secrets, and they're both worth getting. Take out the Pinky Demon, take out the Imp and the final shotgunner. Now I suppose it's only right I show you what the chainsaw does. See, the Pinky Demon and the Spectre need to melee attack you, But they can't do that if you just hit stun them with the chainsaw. They can't actually get the attack off. So if you encounter them one at a time, say in a corridor or in a hallway or like that, you can just stun lock them to death. Yeah, going back to that starting bit pulls down that wall and you can come through here. There's 3 imps and there's also another megasphere which will push you up to, well, 100 health more than you have, but it caps out at 200. 200 health, how about that? Once you leave this secret, you also open up this secret. This secret is really worth grabbing. This secret gets your hands on the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher is great, and as soon as you get the rocket launcher, you want to start conserving ammo for the final level, the final map of this episode, the boss fight. Here's another secret. There's a backpack and a switch that does, well, nothing, but we'll see what it does later. And also this secret here, which, yeah, you get the minigun again if you haven't already picked it up. Or the chain gun, rather. In any event, we come out here where the shotgun was, and look, we're back down. Open up this window here. Yeah, kill these guys. Trust me, it will come in handy later. See, I know all this stuff. I've never looked up a guide for this game. There's a reason for that. I've been playing Doom since I was far too young to be playing Doom, and I don't know everything, but I know quite a lot. Actually, I scratch that. I know about half of the secrets in this game, but we'll see on the penultimate map that's really difficult. I don't know where any of the secrets are. Well, I know where they are, I just don't know how to get to them, so I will go through that level and not be able to pick up all of the cool stuff that's lying around, which is great. Anyway, Pinky Demon's here, over a vat of toxic sludge, a couple of shotgunners, couple of pinkies, couple of imps. There's also an imp up to the right. Yeah, there he is. There we go. Come across here, shotgun around the corner. Also an imp, 2 shotgunners and a rifleman. Yeah, kill them. I suppose I should at least show you what the rocket launcher does at this point. Be a shame to conserve all of the ammo. Yeah, that just took out 3 imps with a single blast. It can take out all 4 if you aim it right, but yeah, the rocket launcher is great. It's really useful, except for the fight with the spider demon, and the cyber demon. But we picked up the blue keycard there. We don't really need the blue keycard, and here's why. This is the door that the blue keycard opens. It leads to the exit, just through there, but we're not going to the exit. Oh no. The switch we pushed earlier that apparently did nothing, yeah, it raised this platform. This takes us to the secret exit and the secret level. The secret level's great fun, I highly recommend doing it. But yeah, you also don't need to go and get the blue keycard, so that's something. This was the room we shot down earlier, and it's made way easier if everyone in it's dead. Take out all the imps with the chain gun, it's the easiest thing in the world. And now, there we go. Now we get to move on to one of the really fun levels in this episode. Well, actually, all of the levels in this episode are fun. They have annoying moments, but actually, I think episode 1 is probably the most fun of original Doom. Yeah, not all the kills. That's a shame, but that's fine. Yeah, episode 1 is probably the most fun that you can have in the first Doom game. Oh god. Bloodbath from start to finish this map. So firstly, pull out the rocket launcher, fire a couple in there, move back, pull out the chain gun and just rinse everything that comes into view. Trust me, that's the easiest way. If you're pistol starting this, yeah, good luck. Lots of shotgunners, lots of imps. If those imps weren't caged, this would be an absolute nightmare. As it stands, it's bearable. Healthy challenge, let's say. 7 out of the 9 maps in this were made by John Romero. I mentioned John Carmack earlier, he was kind of head honcho and lead programmer. John Romero did a lot of the level design and was there for a lot of the influence. He was also a programmer and he did a bunch of other stuff in the game. But he designed 7 out of the 9 levels in this episode. And you know what? I think he did the best job. There are better levels in the later episodes, but I think overall this episode is the most fun. You'll also notice, remember when I said this wasn't a 3D engine, you'll notice I'm not aiming up or down. That's not because I don't want to. You can't aim up or down in Doom, it's a 2D engine. So there's no Z-axis. The game just renders it to make it look like there's a Z-axis. Yeah, I know, I don't fully understand it either, but it works. Yeah, you grab the rocket launcher here, the game punishes your greed. It spawns in, god, I don't know, a ton of pinkies, a ton of spectres, imps, a couple of shotgunners. It's just a drain on your resources at this point. But God damn, the chain gun is so fun. This is when you begin to realise just... Oh, thought that was my shotgun. This is when you begin to realise just how bullet spongy things like the Pinky Demons and the Spectres are. The Spectres are only partially invisible, and you'll notice it here because it's dark. They are actually hard to see when the lighting is anything other than really bright. Yeah, this isn't even the worst of it. There's a level coming up where the end is just pure darkness and Pinky's Spectres. It's not... well, it is fun, but it's not fun. So, this map is the secret map, and I think it's a good one. I think this is a nice reward for secret hunting. I don't like all of the other secret levels in Doom, but this one's fun. Although it is a drain on your resources and you will probably die. It's one of the tougher ones. Oh man, I love this game. Don't love shotgunners. And there we go. There's always one. There's always one. This game has really good sound design. I really like the sound of the shotgun, it's suitably meaty, but also the enemy sounds. Enemies have a distinct aggro, idle and death sound, along with a pain sound, so if you shoot things, you know, like missiles to a corner, you can tell if you've hit something or killed something or if there's still things waiting. It's almost as if this game was designed by talented and competent people who know what they were doing. Get to pick up more armor here, and I've got the yellow key, which means I can open the yellow key door. Oh, this map. So the yellow key door will open into a room that is just a wall of, there we go, shotgunners and imps. There are barrels in there that you can blow up to make things a whole lot easier, but... looks like everything. Pull out the rocket launcher before you grab the red key, trust me, it's worth it. Yeah, this is a thing that Doom 1 does way more than... well, Doom 2, I think. Whenever you grab items, the game likes to punish you. This is something that John Romero does quite a lot, and if you play through Thy Flesh Consumed and Sigil, ugh. You see John Romero doing this a lot. He really likes dickish level design, and honestly, I kinda like it too. More shotgunners, more imps. Just the worst. Although again, there are explosive barrels, and you can dodge the imps' projectiles pretty easily. See, here's the thing, all of the enemies in Doom have really... there we go. Really noticeable and choreographed attack animations. What that means is you can dodge imp fireballs on reaction pretty easily. Here are the Pink Demons. There's quite a lot of them, but as you see, this is a thing that they like to do. They like to put in Pinky Demons just, you know, in corridors, but the Pink Demons like to strafe run towards you, or sort of serpentine. Problem with that is they run into each other and generally get themselves caught up, which makes them easy pickings. Good times. Now we have the blue key. The blue key leads to this door. And more imps, more shotgunners. Not as many shotgunners as the other rooms, but this room becomes challenging in other ways. You'll see in a minute. There's the exit. It's across that, well, river of toxic sludge. In any event, there's a couple of spectres we need to deal with first. There we go. And they are taking a lot of shots. There we go. Good times. So, the Pinkies and the Spectres are pretty much the same enemy, but the Spectres are slightly invisible. This is the only secret that I know in this level. There are other secrets. I just don't know where they are. Like I said, I've never looked up a guide for Doom. I just kind of know things from playing it. I put a lot of time into Doom. Oh, forgot. But apparently not enough to make this jump. It's not the game that I've played the most, but it's one of the few... oh, Jesus. Right, if I don't make it in this one, I'm not getting it. It's one of the few games I can pick up and play at any time, just for a couple hours and have fun. There we go. I don't want the rest of it. It's cool, I got the rockets. The rockets are the important bit in that secret. Down here you see river of toxic sludge and, well, I hope you've got enough health to deal with it. There we go. There's a number of imps down here and a switch. Best hope you don't get left in the toxic sludge too long. As you see, I'm now actually beginning to hurt for health. Yeah, this map is a bit unforgiving, but that makes sense. It's the secret map. It's there for the people that really like hunting out challenges. And apparently the left is... there we go. Pull out the chain gun, because you're going to be dealing with the imp and I think 3 Pinkies, although I can only... well, 3 Spectres, I can only see 2 of them. There we go, there's the other one. Shotgun's death. Don't miss every other shot. And that was the secret level, military base. I enjoy it, it's fun. And I actually got all the kills, and only half the secrets. So there's another secret in that map, I just don't know where it is. Command control. This level. This level. What do I remember about this level? This level's not bad. It's not great. It's okay. I feel like this one is just kind of the middle episode. It doesn't drag on, but it's not super short. It's just kind of there. It's okay. There's a couple of cool secrets in here though that I really like showing off. The level design is pretty fun. Oh man. Yeah. Wall of imps just shooting things at you, explosive barrels. You get to be used to the sound design and the imps and the movements, so dodging this stuff is not the hardest thing in the world. Yeah, there's a rifleman over there. He's dead. Before you go on, jump down into this river of toxic sludge. There's a good secret. Shotgunner, another rocket launcher if you didn't get the one that, well, any of the other ones in the other episodes, but you can also flip this switch, go up here and get yourself a supercharge that'll push you up to 200 health. See, the first episode, it's not easy. It's easy for me because I've played far too much Doom, but one of the reasons it's not the hardest thing in the world is that episode 1 really likes giving you power-ups. There's lots of things to just help you along, full health, full armor. You'll see a couple of times I will probably end up at 200 health, 200 armor, more than once in this episode. The same can't be said for the later episodes. There's mega armor up here, so that'll push me up to 200 armor. Pull out your chain gun, deal with this absolute torrent of nonsense. There we go. I'm picking up the health and the armors, it doesn't matter because I have full health, and look at that, 200% health, 200% armor. Good times. Good times. This level's pretty well designed, it's pretty non-linear, it's pretty opening, there's multiple paths you can go to end up at the same place. You're all dead. Oh yeah, this bit. Right, chain gun out, walk up to the door and attempt to blow up that barrel. Yeah, it'll make things a lot easier. Bounce through them, and there we are. Grab the blue key, kill that guy. There's another chain gun there if you don't have one somehow. I don't know how you wouldn't have gotten a chain gun by this point, but yeah. Door here with a yellow key on it, and you can see the yellow key across the way. Nice. Got 19 missiles. And enough shotgun shells to get me through. There we are. Yeah, the shotgunners in this game are a nightmare, and they are made to look like children by the chain gunners in Doom 2, but we'll get that when we cover Doom 2. I will cover Doom 2 at some point. And Plutonia. Oh boy, Plutonia. In any event, yeah, I like this game. This game's great. It's got a great history. The guys at id Software, you know, did an incredible thing. If you've ever played Call of Duty or Halo, you have Doom to thank. Yeah, this game, well, I don't want to say it created the first-person shooter genre. It didn't. You know, there was Wolfenstein before it, but here's the thing. Other first-person shooters, you know, after this came out, were called Doom clones. The reason they were called Doom clones is because, you know, there wasn't really anything to compare them to until, you know, other games came out. The next game I can think of that really pioneered the first-person genre was also made by id, and that was Quake. And then for a while, first-person shooters that came out were known as Quake clones. Yeah. That's how important this game is. This game is one of the most important video games ever made, and it's fun and it's not terrible. I really enjoy it. Here's the thing though, you can't really play Doom on a modern PC anymore. You know, it's not really compatible. It was made to run on MS-DOS, and so if you want to play it, you have to play a source port. A source port is generally, well, the developers at id gave, you know, the source code, which is just like the DNA of the game, to people and said, here, do what you like, and people did. And so there are a bunch of different source ports, and they all sort of behave like Doom, but not quite. Some of them have a couple of things worth talking about, you know, like better resolution or mod support or any number of other things, but mostly they let you play them on modern hardware. I did consider playing this on DOSBox. You'll notice I don't really have any mods installed, and I'm trying to keep this as close to the original gameplay-wise as possible, but I've upped the resolution and we're not playing in 4:3. The original game ran at 35 FPS on a resolution of like 320 by 200. And while that's fine to play with, even today, I mean, well, the 35 FPS isn't great, it's kind of annoying, but the resolution is fine to play with. I don't imagine it's fun to watch. So I'm playing ZDoom. ZDoom's kind of an older port, it's not updated anymore, but I prefer it to GZDoom for a number of reasons. Anyway. A lot of people who are purists might be annoyed at me for not playing like Chocolate Doom or MS-DOS, or, well, DOSBox. I can't really play it on MS-DOS, I don't have a PC that runs DOS. Can you run DOS on modern PCs? I imagine you need hardware from the time. I don't know. Meh. But yeah, this game came out, took the world by storm. Remember when I said this game isn't 3D? Yeah, well, this game came out in a time when computers couldn't really render 3D. Well, they could, just not well and not quickly, which is kind of a problem if you want to create a game that, you know, has complex 3D environments and you want it to be fast-paced and action-filled. Rendering complex 3D things quickly is kind of a prerequisite for that. But like Chain Gun, go nuts on these people, trust me, otherwise you're going to have a bad time here. Yeah, that's kind of a problem if you want to, you know, have a fast-paced action first-person shooter, you know, set in a 3D world. But, yeah, so what John Carmack did, yeah, I told you about him, you know, the man, the myth, the legend. He did this thing, he created binary space partitioning. Well, he didn't really create it, but it had been theorized as, like, being possible since the 60s, but over a summer, John Carmack and two of his pals just sort of made it real. Yeah, John Carmack is a genius, and we should all owe him something if you enjoy video games. It's a way of rendering things to make them look 3D, and this game is kind of a 2.5D engine in that it's all 2D, but it behaves kind of 3D sometimes. You'll notice like the imp fireballs look like they have height and can go over you or under you, but you'll also notice that you can't aim up or down, and that's because there isn't really a vertical axis. The game is just sort of faking 3D, I don't want to say very well, but pretty well. Pull out the rocket launcher, cross this line, this monster closet opens, destroy everything in this monster closet, and the moment you do, move back here and take care of the other monster closet that opened on the other side of the map. Lots of shotgunners, lots of imps, lots of spectres. Yeah, so this game is faking 3D pretty well. I don't want to say very well. I feel like even if you didn't know this was a 2.5D game, you'd notice some limitations in the hardware. Like, well, not the hardware, the software. Like, you know, you can't have a room over another room because that would require a Z-axis. You can't really have a bridge. You can't look up or down, that's one of the big ones. I don't know, maybe this would fool you. The build engine does it better. We'll cover the build engine when we play some games like Blood. But yeah, the Doom engine, it does some good stuff. Or EdTech 1. Okay, so firstly, step on here, right? There's a mega armor here, and you can run across and grab it. That puts you up to 200 armor. Once you run over here, open up this wall. Yeah, there's a secret. And if you open up this wall, there's another secret. And if you open up this wall, there's another secret. That will get you a hazmat suit, which we don't really need anymore. But it will also get you the chainsaw if you don't have it already, and finally it will get you a megasphere. It's a good one. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you'll also notice I fell there, but I didn't really fall because, again, there's no Z-axis, there's no height. It just kind of fakes it. It does it really well. I don't understand it, I don't do computing. Maybe someone in the comments can explain it better, or I imagine there's videos out there that explain it well. I don't know, I don't get it, but this is somehow not 3D. Health kit there if you need it, otherwise we get to head straight ahead. A couple of shotgunners around this corner. Yeah, I know where most of the enemy placement in this game is. Well, not in the game, but in the first episode. Again, I've played far too much Doom. I've played Doom not more than any game. I've put more time into Dark Souls. I've probably put more time into Skyrim. But I've put a lot of time into Doom, mainly because you can just pick it up, play for an hour, complete an episode, and then finish feeling, well, satisfied, rewarded. The first couple of episodes in Doom are a healthy challenge, let's say. Episode 1 is, well, trivial at this point, but it was challenging the first time I played it, and the second time, and well, the third time as well. Actually, for quite a lot of the time this is challenging. I've just played it a lot. I know I'm making this look easy because I have like tons of health and tons of armor all the time, and I know where most of the things are, but it's not the easiest thing in the world. If you haven't played Doom, you should go back and do it. It is fun. So remember that level end that was just dark and full of spectres? Yeah, this is it here. There's a way to make this easier, and I'm going to do it, but you see, like, it's dark, and it's full of hit scanners, which you can't see, so you can't, get out of the way of their projectiles. Yeah, there's also spectres who you can't see because their partial invisibility makes them, like, totally invisible. But if you come around here, there's a pair of light amplification goggles that make this area really, really bright, which makes this area really, really easy. There's explosive barrels. Worst comes to worst, just shoot them and you'll generally kill something. But yeah, if you go through without getting the light amplification goggles, you're going to lose a lot of health. Trust me. And so in the first time that I played this game, I didn't know that, and I died here about 20 times. Oh yeah, that's another thing. When you die in Doom, you go back to the start of the level, and you only get your pistol. That means all the weapons and ammo you picked up in previous levels, yeah, you don't get them anymore, you lose them. And you can make saves throughout the level and reload them, but that's kind of frowned upon in the Doom community if you're playing through properly. So, you might be wondering, well, what happens if I die? Am I going to go back to the start of the level with just the pistol, or am I going to, like, save at points where I think I'm going to die? Irrelevant. I'm not going to die. Like I said, I have played far too much Doom. Well, I won't die in central processing at least. The next level, we'll see. I didn't die in the secret level though, so I'm probably in the clear. This level's pretty fun as well. Lots of cool secrets, and I really like the design. Oh man, the spectres. That's the entire enemy roster. So, the enemy roster for this game are these guys, the riflemen. They have a pretty weak attack. These guys, the shotgun sergeants. They are pretty annoying, and in anything more than one, they are pretty deadly. Like I said, their shotgun can do anywhere between 3 and 15 damage. 3 and 45 damage. It's 3 and 15 damage per pellet. And they can really make your life miserable if you come across more than one of them. This map really likes to do the thing where, you pick up an item and, well, it opens up a bunch of monster closets. And you might have noticed that this room was giving me lots of chain ammo and there's lots of explosive barrels, so let's oblige them. And there's always one shotgunner, there's always one. There he is. He never comes out. I have never played this game, this level, got into here and had that shotgunner come out to fight me. He always stays there. When I go in to do cleanup, he always shoots me in the back. Anyway, yeah, this is the reason I love Doom. Fast-paced action, little emphasis on story. Oh yeah, I shot in here earlier. There's a mega armor, a bunch of shotgun shells, and some health packs if you need it. A couple of people around here. Shotgunners, pain. I run past a bunch, two shotgunners and a rifleman. There we go. There we are. Yeah, they will make your day a misery if you let them. This monster closet opens up when you go for the blue key, but it's cool. We grab the blue key and then guess what? We can get full health and armor again. Yeah, episode 1 is challenging if you don't know where the secrets are, but if you take the time to explore, you will end up with full health and armor quite a lot. And if you have full health and armor, even if you don't know what's coming, you'll be fine. Full health and armor, bunch of ammo, a partial invisibility. Yeah, that's another power up. If you're new to the game, grab the partial invisibility. If you've played the game a lot, don't. See, the partial invisibility doesn't actually make you invisible to enemies. Well, it does until you shoot them, but then when you shoot them, they know where you are just fine, their tracking still works. But what it does is it just adds a random angle to their attack, so rather than shoot at you, they will shoot at some random angle. Yeah, see how that pinky did a bite at like 90 degrees? Yeah, it went to bite me, but the partial invisibility makes it so that it bites slightly to the left or slightly to the right, or sometimes they do just still hit you. See, you might think that's great, but here's the problem. Like I said, these monster sprites have very well choreographed attack animations, so if you're going to dodge, you dodge before the attack happens, you dodge pretty much on read rather than on reflex. Problem with that is, if their attack is not going the way you think it's going because it's had a random angle added to it, you might not dodge the attack, you might dodge into the attack. If you've played the game a lot, leave partial invisibilities alone, but if you're new to the game, they are pretty helpful. Yeah, this maze is full of enemies, imps, shotgunners. I don't go through and kill them all, it's really easy, you just hug the right wall and you find your way to the switch. There we go. You can also make our way around here, and there is an arrow that leads us to a secret. Yeah, that secret is the auto map. What that does is just fully show us what the map looks like, but here's the thing, I don't really use the map. It's kind of useful if you don't know where you're going, but again, I have played far too much Doom, so I know where I'm going, he says over footage of him just getting lost. Anyway, that switch opens up this, which allows us to go through and grab the yellow keycard. You also want to pull out the rocket launcher here. There we go. Yeah, Monster Closet opens up behind you, and if you try and shoot if you try and shoot the enemies outside, they'll react to the sound of you shooting and they'll rush you from behind. So maybe don't do that. Maybe go and clear out the Monster Closet first. You hear the door opening when you grab the key, so again, it's almost as though this game is designed not to be incredibly frustrating and actually rewards you if you pay attention. Who knows, maybe it was designed by competent and talented people. Yeah. Ah, it's a shotgunner outside that I can't see. I thought I was being shot by a shotgunner that I'd missed and was behind me, but no, it's someone downstairs that I can't see. I'm just going to weaken them up here, just soften them up a little bit. It'll make it easier when I go downstairs. There we are. Well, it didn't make him any weaker, but it did the first one. So yeah, Toxic Sludge. What you want to do, go over here, grab this hazmat suit, pick up the health bonuses and ammo and whatever else is in there. Kill these guys, and then follow this around. It's a snaking path, and if you don't have the suit, it's not worth it, so grab the suit. But there's 2 boxes of rockets here, and also a backpack full of ammo, and also, yeah, a whole wall of chain gunners. Again, you let them, these guys will make your life a misery, but this lets you get round into another section of the level just a bit faster, and I think you can actually skip grabbing the yellow key if you just go this way. Megasphere bumps our health up to 200, and if we open up this wall, yeah, have your chain gun out and just go nuts. Lots of shotgunners, lots of riflemen, there's invisible pinkies, and there's a couple of imps as well, but honestly it's mostly the shotgunners. The shotgunners are probably the main source of death in episode 1. The later episodes have other things, other tricks up their sleeve, but for now, it's mostly the shotgunners. The imp's fireballs are easily dodgeable, and you can do a little dance with the pinky demons. You might have noticed me doing it. If ever a pinky demon gets too close, I sort of run up to it and touch its face, and then I back up when it goes to bite me. Again, their bites are easily telegraphed, and so they're easily dodged. And I don't really think about this stuff while I'm doing it, you just sort of do it, you get used to it. You get a lot of muscle memory in Doom. Working my way through here, lots of pinkies, lots of shotgunners, a couple of riflemen, a couple of imps. There's also lots of shotgunners and pinkies in the next room, and there's a really, really annoying trap in the next room that is going to punish you if you don't know that it's coming. If you have the chain gun, that's fine, but ideally speaking you want to tackle the next room with a rocket launcher, and if you try and tackle the next room with a rocket launcher and you don't know that it's coming, you're going to blow yourself up. So that's always fun. Pick up the health and ammo and armour from here, and then we'll move in. Shotgunners, pinky demons, explosive barrels. I'm trying not to blow up the explosive barrels, yeah, because they're more useful when the monster closet's open. Like I said, lots of shotgunners, and if you just run in here, you're gonna die. You'll learn your lesson though. Again though, it's not about knowing where the enemies are. You can get through this fine if you don't know where all the enemies are, it's about being vigilant. Rocket launcher out. Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable using the rocket launcher anymore. Those Pinky's inspectors were getting just a little bit too close. But that's fine, the chain gun really helps as well. There's another monster closet there with a couple of shotgunners, so I'll let them eat a rocket and then, yeah, finish them off with the chain gun. That's the easiest thing probably. Spectres, again, partially invisible. You can notice them in lighting, but once it even gets remotely dark or there's an awkward texture behind them, they become really hard to see and they will make your day a living hell. There's Pinky in here, and whenever I play this level, this Pinky is always stuck, so he's the easiest kill. Clearly missed a couple enemies in the maze. That's annoying. Now we're on to Computer Station, the penultimate level of Episode 1. There's kind of a rule in these games that, you know, well, old games, old first-person shooters, old games in general, that the second to last level of any episode should be the hardest, and then the last level will be the boss level. And yeah, this doesn't disappoint. This is the hardest level in the first episode. Yeah, it's probably harder than the secret level, but here's the thing. Like I said, I've never looked up any tutorials on how to go through these level. I've never looked up guides for secrets, so I don't know where all the secrets are. But here's the thing, I don't know where any of the secrets are in this level. Well, I know where they are, and I'll point them out later, like the chain gun and the supercharge that are just lying about, but I don't know how to get to them. And I'm not going to look up how to get to them, because honestly, I quite like the little battle of attrition at the end here. I know you can get outside and get that invisibility, and there's shotgunners and imps and a number of other things outside, but I don't know how you get to them. Yeah, I'm not claiming to be a pro at Doom, I've just played it quite a lot. I don't know where everything is. I could probably learn that though. Two guys in here, easily taken care of, but again, since in theory they can do 90 damage to you, you want to be careful. Just picked up the yellow keycard. Grabbing all the shotgun ammo I can get my hands on. We also want to come over here and weaken up these imps. There's 3 imps and a Pinky Demon here, but only really 2 of them show up here. And you can also shoot at a bunch of the riflemen and imps across here. That's actually something that this level does quite well. You can actually kill a bunch of the enemies in later areas, but the problem is, oh yeah, there's that supercharge. It's there, I don't know how you get it. You can shoot at enemies in levels that further ahead that you don't have access to yet. The trade-off is that enemies from areas that are ahead of you that you don't have access yet can shoot you. It's a nice trade-off actually, again though, because if you're paying attention you can take full advantage of it. And again, this game is a healthy challenge, so being rewarded for paying attention is nice. I really don't like this area though. Again, having to look up but not being able to look up because there's no Z-axis. And yeah, this is a source port, so I actually could install mouse look and just look up if I wanted to, but here's the thing, you couldn't do that in 1993, and I want this playthrough to be as close to the original experience as is reasonable. Again, I'm not playing at 35 FPS or at 320 by 200 resolution because that just would not be enjoyable for you guys to watch. I think I'm playing at 720p here. And I'm probably getting 60 FPS. I don't know, feels like it. Here's the Pinky Demon and the other imp. And he is taken, there we go. The shotgun is actually pretty good at long range, which is interesting for a video game shotgun. Okay, this place, absolute bullcrap trap. Yeah, pull out your chain gun. It's going to make this a lot easier. This goes down, 4 shotgunners. Again, since each of them can, in theory, do 45 damage, that's like 180 damage right off the bat. I mean, they won't all do 45 damage, the chances of that are very small, but it's theoretically possible. Again, this is an area slightly further ahead that we don't really have access to yet. I think that's the one behind the blue keycard door, but we can kill the enemies. Here was the place with the imps and the riflemen, and we took them out earlier. So that makes this area a little bit easier. 3 imps out here, there's the blue keycard. There's a super armor here, although I haven't taken as much damage as I thought I was going to. Yeah, Pinky's on elevators. That's something that John Romero likes doing in episode 1. I didn't really notice it until now, but yeah, now that I think about it, once the Pinkies start getting introduced, you do find them on elevators quite a lot. There we go. Red key card. Red key card unlocks the red door, obviously. More pinkies. These guys are really here to just absorb some of your shotgun ammo. But you'll also notice that this is another thing that John Romero likes doing. He likes putting little backtrack sections in his levels where he'll open up a closet and spawn in new monsters, so that when you're going back through a level to go to a door, it's not just an empty walk back, which is good because, you know, it makes the level, you know, somewhat actually interesting to backtrack through, or if you're secret hunting, it makes it just that little bit tougher. But also, if you're running out of ammo because you don't know where the secrets are, you know, like me, then it can be a bit annoying because you're just going to run out of ammo all the faster. Yeah, feels wrong to snipe things with a shotgun at this range, but the shotgun is actually really one of your most viable long-range weapons, aside from the minigun, but you really have to burst fire the minigun for it to be accurate at range. The shotgun you can fire at full tilt, and it's really accurate, and it's really good. I really like the shotgun. It's your main weapon. It's your main weapon in episode 1 at least. There's lots of ammo, it's pretty accurate, does enough damage, has a suitably meaty sound. It's everything you're looking for in your workhorse. Anyway, the red door is around here. We open it up, we grab the blue key. You heard another door open. Yeah, that's another monster closet. Pull out your rocket launcher. Yeah, let's go for that. And there's always one left over. Good times. But now we have the blue key, which will let us open the blue key card door, which is through here. Oh yeah, and more enemies have spawned. Yeah, that's always fun. You open a door and there's just multiple shotgunners. I got really lucky there. They could have taken away a good chunk of my health. I've actually been pretty lucky this whole level. I haven't lost a lot of health or armor. Yeah, this level would be easier, again, if I knew where... Well, I knew how to get to the secrets. There's a secret chain gun, there's a secret megasphere, and I imagine there's other secrets as well. There's a secret partial invisibility, but yeah, I don't know how to get to any of them, so I'm stuck with what I've got. This was, again, another area that we just took out all the enemies in. Lots of imps. That makes things a lot easier. I like it that the game, you know, rewards you for paying attention. Here we have the final push. This is it. A wall of shotgunners and imps and a couple of riflemen just to make your day, you know, that much more interesting. And now, we are at the end of the penultimate level of Doom. Man, the fast action in this really takes it out of you. Yeah, a bunch of shotgunners at the side. Yeah, they can shoot you've spent too long in here, but I'm not going to. Now we're on to the Phobos Anomaly. This is the final level of episode 1, the boss level, and it's nowhere near as hard as the last one. But that's fine, it's not meant to be. Here we get introduced to the final new addition of the roster, the Barons of Hell. Well, for this episode at least, there's new demons introduced in the next couple episodes, but in this episode we've met the limit, aside from the Barons. This level is made frustrating. Not really, but just a little bit, by the fact that the final area with the bosses is full of spectres, and because of the way that the floor and walls are textured, you can't really see them all that well, and also there's like 12 of them. I don't know, I've never counted. They're kinda hard to count because they're kinda hard to see, but there's a lot of them. Anyway, if you're starting this level over, you'll at least go into the fight with minimum 100 health and 100 armor, and you get access to a chain gun with lots of ammo and a shotgun with lots of ammo. However, I have been saving up rockets. The reason I've been saving up rockets is because the Barons of Hell are going to spawn and this thing absolutely wrecks them. Here are all the here are all the spectres. Yeah, they're a nightmare. The Barons of Hell, the Bruiser Brothers, Pinky and Perky, the two bosses of episode 1 that shoot magic at you. They also have a claw attack, but if you're playing right, you should never be able to trigger it. They take between 4 and 6 rockets, 4 if you're lucky, 6 if you're not. But if you've been saving up rockets, then this is not all that bad. Yeah, the spectres will screw you over, but other than that, we have finished episode 1 of Ultimate Doom. Oh man, This is great, and look, I've got 19 rockets left over, and now all there is left to do is, well, go home, I guess. I mean, we were here to deal with the problem, and, well, everything's dead, so I guess that means we can go home? Once you beat the big badasses and clean out the moon base, you're supposed to win, aren't you? Aren't you? Where's your fat reward and ticket home? What the hell is this? It's not supposed to end this way. Stinks like rotten meat, but looks like the lost Deimos base. Looks like you're stuck on the shores of hell. The only way out is through. To continue the Doom experience, play the Shores of Hell and its amazing sequel Inferno. You may be wondering why this game is advertising the rest of the game in its end sequence. Well, this is episode 1. Back in the day, episode 1 was released for free. That meant anyone could play it. If you had a computer, you could play Doom, and pretty much anyone did. Back in the day, Doom was installed on more computers than Windows. I am looking forward to this, so I would like to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode when we play through The Shores of Hell.